How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Liberty Bowl. It is, of course, live stream Fridays. And today, we're just going to be asking the simple question: what's going on with Dan Bongino? Uh, Joining me, as always, is my co-host Liberty Swine. How you doing this week, sir?
Fine as always, man. It's getting a little hot out here, but we're going to get a reprieve next week, so we're good, man. And of course, watching the show, man. Western society crumble around us, dude. So it's always good times in memes and in clips, dude. How about yourself?
Yeah, same, man. About the same. You know, been battling this blistering heat out here, but other than that, it's all good. Fun in the sun, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He's been he basically came out, did an interview, and said very simply, he killed himself. Um, so of course that's been raising a whole lot of eyebrows and a whole lot of questions. So we're going to be discussing that quite a bit today. Um, so just real quick, man, what's your hot take? What's going on with Bongino?
I mean, as far as Bongino goes, I mean, you almost want to think that the man didn't give up, his fortune for, to not do anything. But at the same time, we know that the FBI's got kind of a checkered past, present, and future, man. And there's no doubt in my mind that they've been involved in some of the most heinous shit that's gone on in this country. And they very well could have brought, an envelope and said, "Here's pictures of your daughter and or your daughters." And man, you want to bring something up, you're going to bring something out, bud. And
Right,
that's enough to shut someone down, of course. But like the question that's also been floated around, or the possibility of maybe he's telling the truth, or maybe he's just doing his job and trying to be unbiased and just giving the FBI official story. And he's going to make $1 million book when he
right,
leaves in 4 years.
right. See, I'm kind of more inclined toward the latter, and of course
Mhm.
it's dude Bongino, man. Like honestly, I've the question I've been asking myself, and all these other political commentators out here over the last 2 weeks is, if you don't believe Dan Bongino, is there literally anyone that you would believe? In which case,
Right.
are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the answers that you want to hear? You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah, and that is something to consider as well. If not only the shenanigans that have been pulled in front of us and the lies through the media, the Smith modernization and so on, but we trained ourselves to that point to question everything and not to believe the official story to the point that it's hard to accept something that would be mundane or would seem halfway normal in comparison to the fucking hoodwinking and bamboozling that's happened since 2012.
Right, right. So, yeah, I mean, and in which case, on the other one, where basically they know, here's a picture of your kid and stuff like that. Who? Fucking Cash Patel? Did he do it? Did fucking Pam Bondi do it? Did Donald
Right.
Trump do it? Like, who? you know that would again, it's the Occam's razor, the one that makes the least amount of assumptions. But like I say, in the case of Bongino, as everybody points out, dude gave up a multi-million dollar basically podcasting empire. He was even starting an actual podcasting empire with Silverlock just before he got tapped to be the deputy director of the FBI. So again, it's too fishy, especially for somebody of Bongino's character. And of course, we only know him from the internet. It's not like we actually know the guy in person. It's not like we grew up with him and stuff like that. But nonetheless, he's been fairly spot on. He's been as far as I could tell, trustworthy. And at the same time, he's also been procedural. When it comes to his job, when it comes to things that he's not supposed to talk about, names he's not supposed to drop, things like that. He's been pretty solid with it. So I mean, ultimately, the route that I'm going when it comes to what's going on with Bongino, I'm gonna take a fucking page out of the book of Bongino itself and hold. You know, just wait and see what happens. Because of course, there I mean, there's a bunch of different possibilities. I mean, ultimately, that could be the case. Epstein could have killed himself. It's uh, again, you have to think. I mean, Epstein is a dude that was loose, used to living in the lap of luxury his entire life. Highly connected to some people in high places, things like that. Um, there's a good possibility still that maybe he's sitting there, fucking things are starting to come down to him. He's sitting in a small little fucking cell by himself, and he's just like, I'm gonna have to go out there in front of a jury that's gonna be videotaped and spread all around the world, and you're gonna be fucking slamming, throwing, running me through the mud, all this and that type shit. And maybe he just said, no, fuck it, I ain't gonna deal with this shit. Let them all sort it out on their own. Peace. And again, with all the other different circumstances, I'm not saying that's likely the case, but that is a possibility. So there's also the other Bongino revelation, which was that they got tapes, right? Which of course raises questions because we were told the whole time there was no tapes, there was no video of anything, and he did say that it's not tapes from inside the cell of him Epsteining himself. But ultimately, there are some tapes out there that we were told before does not exist, right?
Hey,
And of course,
whoa. In that position, Epstein at most he Arkansided himself, man.
right. Yep. But yeah. So I mean, there's so many different questions, just kind of spinning around this whole thing. Um, of course, when it comes to the lost tapes, that was always something that I didn't really buy, to be honest with you. I was pretty sure that there was always some sort of actual security footage out there, because I mean, ultimately, what seems more plausible that fucking SEAL Team 6 came in with their radar jammers and they blocked the signal just for that moment while they issued knockout gas into the guards' chambers, so that way they fell asleep just for the right amount of time for them to sneak in and take them out real quick. Or while things were going on, people within the FBI, people, within the investigation went boop, delete. Whoops, there was nothing there. I don't know what happened,
Even
or
as far as jamming the signal, I mean, it's much easier to come in and slide an envelope of cash, fucking, you
right.
know what I mean, and look the other way, turn the camera off for a minute. You just need 3-4 minutes, man.
Right. And of course there wasn't very many interviews with the any of the guards or anything. I don't even think any of us know the fucking who the guards were. So I mean,
Right, and then they
ultimately
told
would it
some
be
stories that the weirdest shit about one of them went to get something to eat. One of them was searching for boat purchases online, and that another was asleep. Uh,
right. Right. So let me see if I could find the first one. Of course, with the second one that's come out, it's not really coming up for me.
Yep, and just the coincidences, I mean, or what's perceived as or portrayed as is why it doesn't line up for most people. All the different circumstances, but then even with that entire situation, you still got Bondi that loved to do the fucking circuit. That chick loves to see herself on TV, and talking about how she bombshelled, most disgusting stuffs I've ever seen is, and then puts out the whole envelope scandal, you know what I mean? Envelope gate, where they're like, here, take some empty folders out and show the crowd a bunch of redacted shit that was released fucking 3 years ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, and then,
Right.
well, we got thousands of hours of tape we're going through. And, I mean, and even the official story when they raided Epstein's properties, supposedly they got like 22,000 hours of video, but not a single second of it's been released. And I
Right.
mean, again, I don't think you're ever going to see it. It's like going to be like JFK, really.
Right. It's probably never going to see the light of day.
Right.
And it's so again, I guess it raises even more fucking questions. Who's blocking this? Because of course it would have to be somebody high up there, people in high places. You know what I mean? Um, so
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean the entrenched, the ultra rich. I mean, I know we're like, well, Donald Trump's a billionaire, but I mean, we're talking people that at minimum tens of dozens of billions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're talking people that have been in power behind the scenes for, long before, all of these stories were being passed around. And then not to mention, you know, like how you were saying, what did Cash do it? Did Bondi do it? I mean, if anyone came to him, I'd say it would be someone that's entrenched the CIA. I mean, that's an entity that really hasn't been touched or fucked with. That's the entity you really don't hear about in the news, like the FBI. You don't, I mean, it's pretty rare. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, to me, if there was a shadow government, that's the one, dude.
Right. Let's see who the fuck did he put as a CIA director? The current Central Intelligence Agency is John Ratcliffe.
Right.
So yeah, so that would be the who's the head over there. So yeah, it really could be a number of things, but real quick, let's just go ahead and get to the video in question real quick. So I didn't pre-screen this one, so it might be the correct one, it might not, but either way, those are the same faces that we saw before, right? And again, the faces here too. Well, let's go ahead and watch the video, then we'll talk about it after.
The faces, like Dan Bongino just needs to go ahead and shave his head, bro.
Right? Like, and he was looking pretty fucking edged up in that last one, though. The next one that we're about to watch with Maria Bartiromo.
Cash is not kidding. We've been personally briefed extensively on every single detail, nugget, tendril of this case. One is actively in court right now, so out of respect for the case, it's probably more appropriate that I stay quiet on that. However, I'm not going to tell people what they want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth, and whether you like it or not is up to you. If there was a big explosive there, right? Given my history as a Secret Service agent and my personal friendship as a director does with the president, give me one logical, sensible reason we would not have. If you can think of one, there isn't. There in some of these cases, the there you're looking for is not there. And I know people, I get it. I understand. It's not there. If it was there, we would have told you. You know what, Maria?
But basically, he's like saying, like, he's telling you what they have as far as FBI evidence. Like, basically, it's like, well, we read the FBI reports that, like, the FBI wrote, and it says that, like, there's no there. So,
Right.
in other words, nothing else has been looked into or opened or anything like that. You just read the official report and you're running with the fucking story.
Right. Well, I mean, at the same time, too, that's why I was saying when it comes to his, him in a professional situation, he's very procedural. He doesn't talk out of turn. He's going to tell
And
you
he said that.
what the black and white says. He's
Right.
not going to
And he's, yeah.
But I think this. He's going to tell you what it says on the paper. And so yeah,
He said
I
that,
think
if you remember, leading up to the last shows, he told you these are the last times you're going to hear my opinion for the next
right.
4 years. Basically, like, I'm going into a position where I have to be neutral regardless of my personal leanings, and I take that seriously. You know what I mean? Like, he basically told you you're not going to hear anything politically, basically.
Right. So I think this is the actual correct clip.
Yeah, that last one he was talking about the assassination attempt.
He killed himself.
Crooks, right?
Yeah.
Thomas Crooks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the one in question right now. But Thomas Crooks, I mean, that's another part of it. There's no there. I mean, there's something there.
Yeah. I mean, his place was sanitized, didn't even have silverware.
There.
Fucking, yeah. The inner zones were scrubbed of his shit. I mean, it's just so on and so on. What 20-something-year-old kid do you know that doesn't have a fucking TikTok or, an Instagram or,
Right. What is like the only fucking interview with his dad is like a one word, just like no comment.
Right.
The fuck is that, dude? Like, okay, well, good enough for us. We're gonna stop bothering you now. Like, since when does the fucking media do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely. I mean, there's got to be more to it in this whole Thomas Crooks thing. But again, we ain't finding out right now. But anyway, back to the Epstein thing. Let's go ahead and check this one out real quick.
You know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
All right, so let's go ahead and yeah, just his face just doesn't look as Bongino-y as it normally does. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He
just
looks like
saying.
he's
I've seen the
got
whole
something
file.
else on his mind.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously,
Right.
right? Preoccupied, but again, I mean, they're just running with the file. Like you're just regurgitating exactly what the FBI has been saying. Like, and like you said, it could be true. It could be boring. It could be mundane. Fool didn't want to face the music. Thought he was going to get murked out anyway, what have you. But I don't know. Just saying, I've read the whole file is not too convincing to anybody. I can't think.
It's like, fuck it. I've seen what Hillary does to people. I'm gonna fucking do it myself. I ain't going through that shit.
Right. It's better than getting shot twice in the back of the head.
Still rule of suicide. Yeah. So, and again, you never know. Like I say, the whole thing that I've been just kind of wondering though, or that's really just like I say, been going through my mind is how many people out here are just looking for the answer that they want to hear. You know what I mean? Like how many people are just looking for, see, he didn't kill himself. This is what happened. Yada yada yada. I mean, of course, in the case of Pam Bondi and releasing the Epstein files, I believe that one's different. Because Dan Bongino didn't come out and say, "Oh, we're going to get to the bottom of Epstein. I'm going to release everything, and we're going to tell you exactly what happened." And then it comes out he killed himself. Like no, that's basically just it's his first statement on it. And so yeah, it's a bit of a bit different there. So in terms of like I say, who if you're not going to believe Bon fucking Gino of all people, who are you gonna believe? You really think that Bongino is playing cutesy time right now? I thought cutesy time was over. I don't think Bongino's
like
playing
months
no cutesy
ago, man.
time. Right. Shit's been over, so
right.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, when it comes to, like I say, Bongino, dude, like that's a name that I trust. That's a name that we've been listening to for years. Fucking every single day. During while he was on air, we were always listening to Bongino, and
for a decade, man.
Right, the dude, like I say, he's been spot on. His analysis has always been above the average. The dude's an intelligent dude. He knows the ins and outs of this government system. He knows the ins and outs of government intelligence, things like that, security, all that type of stuff. So yeah, I mean, like I said, when it comes to Bongino, I'm gonna stick with the Bongino rule and just hold. See what else comes out of this. Like I say, I have faith in Bongino. I have faith that he's he is a person of integrity, and I have a faith that he's going to do the right thing. But nonetheless, I mean, everyone else is over here just like, like he's been compromised.
They got something on him. That's my immediate thought process, man.
Right. Right. They didn't even have to put pictures
children
of
are the
kids.
ultimate weapon. Yeah.
And they didn't even have to put pictures of his kids. They're like, yeah, remember this back when you were 19 back in college? Let's go ahead and yeah. You want to keep and put that in your pocket? Go ahead and keep that. Don't worry about it. We have 100 more copies back at the office. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, like I say, it just makes you wonder. Like what could have again, not saying that he's being dishonest, but what could have made him have a face like that and just like he killed himself.
Cash too, man. I mean,
right. Cash always looks like that though.
Right. Alex Jones now, he won't even call him Cash anymore after that. He calls him Kosh, dude. Kosh,
yeah.
Kashi Patel. Yep, man. And the shit I don't like, dude, is you keep having Cash coming out on X and stuff, and bragging about these busts that to me it should be local police, state police, the DEA handling, and instead he's like, the FBI today we did this drug bust. This, like, dude, that's not what basically he helped run on. I mean, if you remember him doing like the podcast circuit and shit like that. It's like we're gonna investigate Adam Schiff, fucking, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was
Right.
you know
We're going to turn the
a lead up.
FBI headquarters into a museum.
Yeah. I mean, it was
Yeah.
supposed to be this lead up of, we're going to end corruption. We're going to use the FBI for what it was intended for. You know what I'm saying? Shit like this. And it's like, dude, come on, man. I don't think you're
Right.
going to see shit. I think as far as that's concerned, regardless of any hope or any any kind of excitement over like here it comes, that's all you're going to see is low level. I think the highest person you might see get something is old fucking Biggest Smalls, Tisha James, dude, and
Right.
that's boot it. I think that's the highest you're going to see.
Well, he's also said that he's looking into the cocaine at the White House. He's looking into
Right?
the
Who gives two
DNC and RNC
fucks?
pipe bombers. Yeah. So
I
I
mean,
mean,
the
like,
DNC pipe bombers, cool. You can get to the bottom of that. You know what I'm saying? Let's
right.
see. But again, I believe it's too interior fucking, made, and nothing's going to come out. And
Right.
even if it does, nothing's going to happen.
Yep.
And I love how people love, talk about the nothing's happening. People's is even the things that you think are happening have an injunction put on them within fucking 48 hours after that. I mean,
Right.
obviously that's not Trump or the administration's fault, but the point is nothing really is fucking happening. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yep. It's moving at the speed of government. Of course.
Yeah.
You know, as you guys remember looking back on the show over the last couple of years, the main thing I was looking forward to was transparency. Just go in there and fucking drop fucking receipts left and right, drop receipts left and right. But I'm starting to realize that's not getting that's not going to happen. Best we could hope for is fucking, I don't know, some lower taxes, maybe increase the economy, maybe bring some manufacturing back home. They're looking at getting suppressors off of the NFA. That's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and deportations. I mean, the Supreme
Right,
Court
right.
sided with them.
Deportations.
Yeah,
Basically just the regular functions of government. Like I said, I was looking forward to blowing the motherfucker up, but I guess the primary concern seems to be survivability of government, longevity of government. And
yeah, and Republicans are worth fucking nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've said it 100 times on here and other shows, clips, whatever. And dude, that's the Republicans are just fucking like like Dan Bongino used to say, man, one-liners fucking or snapshots and sound bites.
right.
And mine is the one-liners because they're always posting on the inner zones, little one-liner cracks and whatnot. But nothing steps forward. I mean, just like the Doge cuts, they haven't voted on shit. They haven't codified anything. They just take continuous fucking vacations. They've took 5 vacations since Trump came into office. That's as many bills as they fucking sent forward. You know what I mean? So, I mean, most of these fools need to get primaried, and it's not just Congress; it's also the Senate because, the big beautiful bill did just pass, and of course, you got Senate Republicans that are the ones that are like, "Fucking put the brakes on it. We're going to change it." Saying, "Well, we're going to polish it." Shit like that. In other
Right.
words, they're going to completely fucking change it. You know what I mean?
So we'll get back to Bongino here in a second, but I want to ask you in terms of primarying a lot of these, just fucking rank and file Republican stuff like that during the midterms. What do you think is going to be more? I guess I don't know, pragmatic, I suppose, to primary some of these out, or a lot of these safe seats. Like fuck it, you sit there, you don't fuck around, you fucking you vote along party lines, or we're getting rid of you. Because of course, as we know, midterms, the Democrats they're gunning for them. We've already had Democrats saying oh, if we win during the midterms, there's gonna be investigations. We already know there's gonna be an impeachment no matter what. If they win, as soon as they get past that threshold, like fuck it, find something to impeach them on.
Right.
So what do you think's more practical, or what's more important, primarying out some of these sticks in the mud, or holding the house?
Oh man, that's a tough one there because I'd say they kind of go hand in hand. I
Right.
mean, to me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's they're equally as important, but I don't think you can hold the house unless you get rid of some of these stale fucks that aren't doing anything. There's going to be a lot of frustrated voters. You have a lower turnout for midterms than you do a presidential ticket anyway. And then on top of it, a bunch of people that are going to be disenfranchised from these spineless fucking Republicans not doing shit, not using the mandate they were given. So, it's to me, it's just as important to light a fire under people with more MAGAs than ever's fucking candidates that are, we're going to stop the madness. We're going to codify EOs. Fucking, you know what I mean? Like we're going to cut spending. Like we're not just going to talk about it. We're going to fucking try to, implement the Doge cuts on a permanent basis, so on and so forth. And I think that right there could very well, not only win, but keep that mandate to where, we don't lose either of the chambers, man.
Right. How much do you think the voters on our particular side are frustrated right now, and just when if the next candidates is going to come out and just like, don't worry, man, we're coming in, we're gonna fucking we're gonna codify this, we're gonna make all that we're gonna cut spending, this and that. It's like, yeah, heard that before,
Right. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, but obviously, as far as the ones that need to be primaried are the same old faces that have been in there that do the same shit every time. I mean, the like I said, a huge portion of that's in the Senate. You got to get rid of Thune and fucking Lindsey Graham, and you know what I mean, the normal flake outs.
Right.
And then also, someone's got to be more in Trump's ear as far as like they're like, okay, I want to pass this fucking spending bill, and Mike Johnson tries to sneak some shit in there that not only fucking erases Doge fucking savings, but makes it to where there's people that are refuse to vote for it, and Thomas Massey points it out and tries to introduce portions of the actual fucking contents originally in individual bills, and Trump's like, Massey's the problem. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's fucking
Right.
retarded, bro. Like even Massey said the other day himself in an interview, like, I don't think Trump realizes that I'm the only one that's actually on his side. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, how much of it do you think involves Trump at all? I mean, because of course, I mean, not at all, but involves Trump in general. Just because, the one thing that we've seen with Mike Johnson is he's pretty much just kind of like a, okay, what do I have to do to stay in power? And so of
Right.
course, with
The worm, as far as that's concerned, but I mean, he's been vocal about like Massey needs to be primaried or thrown out of the Republican Party, like shit like that, man.
Mhm.
And it's like, bro, what the fuck are you thinking? Like,
Right, right, yep. All you guys with fucking principles, you got to go. Right. Yep.
I mean, he wants to pass the Doge cuts. He wants to pass the voter ID shit, no tax on tips. And he's brought up no tax on tip bills himself several times before Trump was ever mentioning it. You know what I'm saying? So he's like the original no tax on tips guy. You know
Right.
what I mean? And I mean, he wants no tax on Social Security, and I mean, so on and so on. All the things that Trump ran on, Massey really wants to pass. You know,
What do you think has always been I guess the stumbling block when it comes to people like Massey, people like Rand Paul, the more liberty minded, more fiscally conservative Republicans within Congress and the Senate, that makes it to where, because like you said, they've had these ideas for years now. They've been putting them forward for years. Never fucking came to any sort of fruition at all. You
right?
know what do you
Yeah,
think is the big holdup on them being able to actually implement any of their ideas rather than just stating their ideas?
the actual leaders,
All right.
your McConnells and Pelosi's. That's the reason, because they refuse to bring that kind of shit to the floor for a vote. You know what I mean? Like you can propose as many bills as you want, but if the speaker doesn't bring it forth, you're fucked. And that was Pelosi for years. Again, Massey fucking attests to that. That she refused to bring up any bill that had any kind of Republican ties to it through her whole speakership, man. You know what I'm saying? It was like 2% of all the fucking shit that they proposed got brought to the floor for a vote. And Mike Johnson is the exact opposite. Like, while he's not passing any of Trump shit, he's brought forth something like 58 fucking Republican proposals for a vote, man. Where he's
Yeah.
brought forth 5 of Trump's. You know?
So it's the committees Thomas Massey is on. He's on the Committee of Transportation and Infrastructure, the Committee of the Judiciary, and the Committee on Rules. And then he's in subcommittees. He's a Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure, Aviation. Okay, yeah, it's just the subs of
And
those same
I
ones.
wonder how old that is, because I swear he just said, remember when he went against Trump and Mike Johnson here recently, and he came out and did an interview and said that Marjorie Taylor Greene and I, colluded on the possibility of having him removed, but we didn't think we could get someone to replace him. And then he came out and said that Mike Johnson removed him off of committees and whatnot. So
Yeah,
I don't know if yeah.
I mean, it could be. This is from Thomas Massey's website himself, Congressman Thomas Massey, or massey.house.gov. So
Maybe it wasn't all. Maybe it was just particular ones or something. Because he actually said that. I believe it was with Tim. I want to say he said that portion that
yeah,
Mike Johnson removed him off of committees and shit.
yeah. So I mean, it's basically just like I said, they're good voices and everything. It's just they don't have they're not in positions of power to be able to implement those types of things. So I mean, in which case is it better? I don't know. I don't know really how to phrase it. We had this one before. Is it better for them to just kind of get some shit fucking done? Don't let good be the enemy of perfection, or is it better for them to, I guess, like I say, go down the same route that they've been doing, that's been getting them kicked off of committees and keeping them at the bottom of the totem poles?
I mean, you got mixed feelings on that one, right? Because a man of principle, is someone that you look up to, you listen to, you know what I mean, like respect, right? But then at the same time, like you said, all they're really doing is just creating fucking, kind of almost havoc because of the slim majorities and both levels.
Right.
And so it's a game where sometimes you need them, like, dude, we need you to fucking to pass, to vote with your party. But then
Right.
at the same time, the shit that they're that's keeping them up, like, in particular Massey and Paul, is the economic aspect. Like, yeah, it's great to cut tax on tips, social security, so on and so forth, but you can't increase spending while doing that, man. Like,
Right.
you're totally fucking us. And that's obviously logic and reason, which the Senate nor fucking Congress seems to function on. You know what I'm saying? It's just what's going to get them elected and what they can virtue signal on, man. And
Right.
so it's see, like I said, you got mixed emotions. So I want to see him stick it out, but then at the same time, you want to see him in leadership. But then if your party has any scruples or has any well intention, they would want the person with morals to be in leadership positions anyway. And you see with McConnell stepping down, I mean, they put a fucking establishment sellout cuck in charge of the Senate immediately when Rand Paul basically put his name in for a leadership role. I mean, he's been there for a while now, and it was like he wasn't even considered.
Right. Right.
But just let
That's
they're shitbags. They don't want change.
right. That's why I say, man. Like how much how what's more, I guess, important in terms of getting stuff that you want done. I guess maybe not getting stuff that you want done, but I guess as your role as a representative, is it to maintain your voter record? Like, oh, I never voted for extra spending, or is it like, oh well, I'm also the person that's responsible for us not getting this, and this because I
Right.
wanted to hold out.
Right, but again, it makes it difficult because again, they're elected from individual states, and you don't know what they ran on, what they promised their voters, or what their correspondence with their constituents is. I mean, as far as like Rand Paul and Thomas Massey, they get reelected with ease, and like you said, they've been on this same trajectory basically their whole political careers, and it surely hasn't hurt them with their constituents. They win by large margins. So
Right.
I mean, obviously they're doing, what their constituents want them to do. But as far as the party and the good of the country, sometimes obviously that's a question. I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
we've talked before, like libertarianism sounds great on paper, and fucking morals and values are all great, but in the real world, you know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. A
So
lot of it's idealism. It's basically
yeah,
in a perfect world, this would be great. Like, great. We don't fucking live in that world, so we need to fucking get to work on what we do have.
yeah, and you are a part of this party. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That was given a mandate by the fucking people, and this
Right.
is the shit that they're trying to pass is what Trump ran on. unless you need to cut that fucking little porks that Johnson's trying to hide in and whatnot. But other than that, of course, this is what he ran on, man. This is why you were given the mandate.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah, well, we'll have to see how that all turns out, during the midterms. Of course, Massey, Rand Paul, none of these people are going anywhere. I'm sure they're going to get reelected, easily. But nonetheless, yeah, the midterms, man, it's going to be a make or break moment in America,
Yeah, and also you have the possibility of Massey moving up to the Senate because McConnell's leaving. That him, Paul, and McConnell are all from the same state, obviously.
Right. Kentucky.
So, yeah, that'd be a great position for him to step in. And there's actually like one of his like apprentices, Massey, that's currently running for office there as well. That would be perfect to step into Massey's congressional seat. Wouldn't skip a beat, and it may actually make the Senate move a little faster, man.
Does Rand Paul or Thomas Massey ever have anybody try to primary against him?
Yeah, I mean, of course, Democrats and shit, but like Massey said when Trump came out and said, the last primary that Massey needed to be primaried out, he said, I won by a bigger margin. So,
right, shoot yourself in the foot there, man.
Right.
Right. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. But let's get back to Bongini's real quick. And so he went on so after all of the fallout from like I said, everyone's over here is like, oh, what's going on with Bongino? Like he's been compromised, this and that. So Bongino went on Fox and Friends and he tried to explain himself a little bit. So let's go and check out some of these clips real quick.
I mean, I gave up everything for this. I mean, my wife is struggling. I'm not a victim. I'm not Jim Comey. It's fine. I did this, and I'm proud I did it. But if you think we're there for tea and crumpets, well, I mean, Cash is there all day. We share it. Our offices are linked. He turns on the faucet. I hear it. He's there he gets in at like 6 o'clock in the morning. He doesn't leave till 7 at night. I'm in there at 7:30 in the morning. He uses the gym. I work out in my apartment. But I stare at these four walls all day in D.C., by myself, divorced from my wife. Not divorced, but I mean separated, divorced. And it's hard. I mean, we love each other, and it's hard to be apart.
But you're doing some great work. You're straightening out the FBI. You're moving buildings. There's a lot of change.
I got one more thing. I gave up.
What's the one more thing?
That he gave up a fucking goddamn, empire.
Wait till you read the stuff that's coming up.
I don't care about the old Silverlock shit.
Right.
I think the shows that took his fucking slots and, the morning show and whatnot's fucking doo-doo.
Right. Right. Sometimes I'll listen to Vince just on my ride into work.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah. Sometimes I'll listen to Vince just because it's on my ride into work, and it's like, yeah, fuck it. I don't want to have to scroll through and find a video. I'm just like, fuck it. It's live. Listen to it real quick. Hey, he's all right. He's definitely no Bongino. What is it? Avita Duffy. I hardly ever listen to her show.
It's a full-on fucking chick show. It's fucking, she's talking about Lilo and Stitch and fucking, you know what I mean? Millennial memories and whatnot. Dude, like that's not, I don't want to hear a 20-year-old tell me about fucking politics, dude.
At 6 o'clock in the fucking morning, dude. Like, why did you guys give her the fucking 6 a.m. slot? Dude? Like, if she's going to be talking about, like fucking teen stuff and pop culture and all this and that type of shit,
Right.
It doesn't make no sense to me. And then what's the other one? Like Haley something.
Yeah, some shit. I haven't even listened to a single episode of that.
Yeah, I haven't either. I see it come on because it's, again, she comes on right when I'm usually leaving work. But yeah, I don't click on it. I listen to music at that point.
Yeah, the man that should have took his spot on the radio and the fucking goddamn podcast to me is Chris Plant. Dude does a 3-hour radio slot as well. He's in the earlier slot, same channel as Bongino was, and he should have been put into that old Rush slot, in my opinion. Dude's great on, same thing on the spot. A couple things disagree with him on, especially on, his old Israel shit. But he's in that age group that's thought to believe that that's fucking God's chosen people's.
Right.
So,
right. It was. And you guys forget, you gave them fucking certificate of divorce, man. You guys are done. Unfaithful pieces of shit. Right. And then they murdered his son. But
right after he beat him out of the temple, man.
Right. All right, let's go ahead and check out this Bongini clips real quick from Fox and
Wait
Friends.
till you read the stuff that's coming out.
Does he still have loyalists in the building? Because when I hear the FBI director saying, you guys are finding boxes that are hidden, okay, how does that happen in the Bureau?
Well, we were there a couple of weeks, and luckily there were a lot of people up there who grabbed us by the arm the minute we came in and said, thank you for being here. You know, we need to talk. There are people there who are really horrified at what happened. And there was a room, and we found stuff, a lot of stuff.
A hidden room?
I wouldn't call it hidden, but hidden from us at least, and not mentioned to us. And then we found stuff in there, and a lot of it's from the Comey era, and we are working our damnedest right now to declassify. And just so you know, because I get the public, I totally understand people saying, well, do it now. The process is not all the information is ours to declassify. Some is other intelligence agencies. It's not, we literally can't do it. Once that gets done and that gets out there and you read some of the stuff we found that, by the way, was not processed through the normal procedure, digitizing it, putting in FBI records. We found it in bags, hiding under Jim Comey's FBI. Quickly, you're going to be stunned.
The shells.
Right. So
I'm sick of that shit. They're like, man, there's a system. There's a way to do this, man. Sure, it hasn't been done for fucking years and people have just done whatever the fuck they wanted. But there's a system that we have to abide by to fucking tell you what's really going on, man. Like, dude, it's beyond frustrating, bro. And he says, I understand, you know, the audience, they're like, Dan, you may understand to an extent, but I don't think you do fully, bro. Especially because, like you were just saying, Dan, the name carries respect. The man is respected. I mean, just his career, you know, prior to fucking podcasting, you know, puts him in a different class, obviously, right? But you know, maybe that class is fucking government. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what to say at this point.
That goes back to the whole midterm thing, though. You know, like I said, midterms they're gonna come fucking gunning for everybody. I guarantee you, Dan Bongino is going to be called before a congressional committee if they get the midterms. And so if he's out there doing stuff, you know, like declassifying stuff that's obviously, you know, not yet his to declassify, you know, pulling the trigger before the time's right. You know, it's
like, how is it classified? It's in a fucking plastic bag in a hallway closet. You know what I'm saying? You fucking retards, you. You know what I mean?
Don't ask those questions. It's classified.
Right. There's a system in place, man. Like, bro, none of this is in the system. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he said, none of it's been ran through. None of it's been digitized or filed. Like, I mean, how is it classified, man? You don't even know what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I want to see if I could find
Jim Comey, because he cannot control himself.
No, that one's not it.
That's where my disappointment comes in. I thought if you get the right people in charge of the right fucking agencies, that it was like, yo, this is what the fuck's been happening. Instead, it's, you know, the normal Republican. Well, there's like decorums. You know what I mean? Slow down, little Bobby. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, fuck, man.
But like I said, that's why I'm just gonna stick with the hold. You know, hold. See what Bongino comes up with. But people have been putting up these videos as well too.
Listen,
which is basically just kind of a before and afters of Bongino. So let's go ahead and check some of these out real quick. Because of course, like we said, Bongino on his show, he was very skeptical of the official narrative from the Epstein story. So to see him go from that to this, I mean, it's obviously, you know, been raising some eyebrows. So yeah, let's just check out this one real quick. This how he used to talk about the things.
Listen, that Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it, outside of a few entrepreneurial media outlets saying, hey, this is a big deal.
He killed himself. You want me to get, I've seen the whole file. he killed himself.
Listen,
Right. So, like we said, there's a whole bunch of different things that could be the correct scenario going down. Ultimately, we don't know. That's why I say I'm just gonna hold, see what else comes out. Like I said, there's still plenty of time. He's only been on the job for like 3-4 months now.
Right?
Yeah, so I mean, there's still plenty of time. Like I said, I have faith that Bongino's a good dude. I have faith that he hasn't been compromised. I have faith that again, he's just being a Republican, fucking going by the books. Don't make any waves. I just wanna
But it's frustrating though, bro, because like you said, it's the same shit that he used to talk about on the show about screw decorum and stuff. Like the leftists have already thrown away decorum a long time ago, and like you repeated several times, QT times fucking over. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the phrases. You know what I'm saying? And again, people like to like vote harder. It's not about voting because these are appointees. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the vote was for fucking Trump, man, and the whole like one person can't save it. Right. We were counting on a group of people taking over all the fucking tendrils. You know what I mean? And obviously, even with Trump's appointees being approved, and like you said, Ratcliffe being the head of the CIA, Cash, the FBI, so on and so on. Like, who the fuck do you have to go through declassify shit? You know what I'm saying? Supposedly, all the heads are part of the fucking administration. So blanket declassification. There you go, son. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. And the whole, we're going to bring it down again. That was the point of the mandate.
Right. Well, again, that could just raise up the bigger question, and we talked about it before on the Virginia Giuffre or however you pronounce it, when she died. All of these, assassinations and deaths and stuff like that in connection with Epstein, they only seem to happen under the Trump administration.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, there's shit that did happen previously, but it was years ago. You know what I'm saying? But it's more in line with connections to the Arkansas crew, dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's where it really comes in. I mean, with fucking Vince Foster and fucking even goddamn Andrew Breitbart. I mean, the list just keeps going, man.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, definitely a lot of interesting there's there,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll have to see what comes of it. Like I said, still early. It's still shit. We still within the first year, within the first 6 months. It hasn't even been 6 months yet since Donald Trump's taken office. You don't want to get like the lefties, like, oh, he said that he was going to fix the economy. He's been in office 2 weeks. My eggs are still this bright. Yeah, that's not how it works, dude. But
yeah, I know. I feel that too. I completely agree with you. But at the same time, like I was just saying, I don't want to hear about there's systems in place and shit. Just shut the fuck up and get it done behind the scenes, or fucking drop a load, son. You know what I mean? Like, it's that simple. Don't sit out here and pull the modus operandi of well, we got to do what the laws says is. You know what I mean? For what? Like, what's the other thing that's going to happen?
I'm just telling you what
the Democrats will get back in power, and they're going to do. They've already done it, And like you said, like they're already saying they're going to investigate fucking Elon, and the dude's leaving his government position. So
Right. But yeah, like I said, how much of this also has to do with government longevity, or just the things that they could get in there and reveal. Again, as much as I would like them to, they're going to have consequences, whether foreseen or unforeseen. There's definitely going to be consequences to a lot of this information getting out. So I mean, again, like I say, yeah, you don't know for sure, but perhaps they're trying to slow roll so that way they as the left and all the
October surprise.
well, maybe not that, but maybe just they're priming people. They're putting it out there just a little bit, and then fucking one day they're just gonna like, here you go.
Yeah, or maybe Steve Bannon's right, dude. Maybe it's going to be midsummer, and you'll start seeing some dominoes fall. Like I said, I'll believe that shit when I see it. I surely don't think that it's going to happen. I've stated it before, right? But and maybe it's a whole let's secure power with the midterms, and then fucking blow it out of the water, go full blast. But again, it's hard to not be nihilistic about the situation. To be honest with you, I mean, it just proves again and again that it's just politics, and you usually can't put too much trust in people. And I want to be patient, but like I said, don't. If that's the case, stop with the whole their systems. Fuck off with that.
Right, right. But yeah, I think this is the right video. But where he says that there's a video. Let's go ahead and check this one out real quick.
In public interest. I'm just telling you what we see in the file. I just want to be crystal clear on this. I am not asking anyone to believe me. I'm telling you what's there and what isn't.
Right.
There is nothing in the file at this point on the Epstein case, and there's going to be a disclosure on this coming shortly. We are working through there is video. That is something the public does not.
There's video of him killing himself.
No, not the actual act, but the entire MCC Bay, it was only one camera. There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release, that's what's taken a while on this, we are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans. You're going to see there's no one there but him.
Right.
There's just nobody there. So I say to people all the time, if you have a tip, let us know. But there's no DNA, there's no audio, there's no fingerprints, there's no suspects, there's no accomplices, there's no tips, there is nothing. If you have it, I'm happy to see it. There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it. So in public.
Right. So that's the question, or that's the video that's been going around over this week, where basically he's been saying, he's saying that there's video, there's video, and of course he's saying that he's going to release it. He's saying that they're going to clean it up, but they're also going to release the original alongside it, which some people have been pointing out, like, why even mention that? Like, why even mention that part? It's kind of unnecessary.
Not to mention, dude, I mean, I got a fucking video editor app on my laptop and my phone. I could clean a video up in about 2 minutes, man.
Right. But there's also, all the people out there saying like, oh, nope, it doesn't matter. Even if you release a video, I'm going to say it was AI. It's like, dude, at what point are you just going to accept, what, again, I don't want to sound like, oh, just accept what the government narrative, but like I say, if are you looking for, what's the actual black and white, documented evidence, or are you just looking for what you come to believe over the last several years?
Right. Yeah. 3 from heaven. These people are still lying to the public, man. I tend to lean to that as well. At least taking the official story of the government, whether that changes in the future or not is yet to be seen. But I'm of the mind exactly what you're getting at.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, of course, they're still, slow rolling everything. Like I said, the one thing that I was really looking forward to with the Trump administration would be, like I said, transparency, just coming out, dropping some of those receipts. But I'm coming to the realization. Right. But like I say, I'm coming to the realization that's not probably not going to take place, But I mean, like I say, there's still plenty of stuff that they're getting done. I mean, they're working on the economy. They're working on bringing manufacturing back home. They're trying to stop all these fucking wars around the world. They're trying to get us on a different sort of a geopolitical footing. They're mass deportations. They're shut down the border. They're trying to work on voter ID, things like that. I mean, there's still plenty of stuff getting done. It's just the transparency in here. Yeah, I don't see that coming.
I'd have to say again, the only portion of it that is Trump. The man answers fucking questions from the press openly without the teleprompter on a daily basis. I mean, there's not many days that go by without him taking questions, and the dude will stand there as usual, and talk for hours, and take off the cuff shit,
Right. Real quick before we get to the comment, do you think Trump knows what happened to Epstein?
Probably not.
Yeah,
probably not, man. No, yeah. I would have to say not.
All right. So 3 from heaven has commented, I'm an investigator. If you remember, Sidney Powell said, release the Kraken. That meant that Rostron was going to testify in front of Congress as part of his plea deal on January 6th, and just in front of Congress, soiled GRH beans about who that did it. That did it all.
I'm sure it was supposed to be kind of spill the beans about who did
Right,
it
right.
all, but yeah, fucking yeah, I mean, the whole January 6th thing is, something else that they're not even speaking about or it's going to get touched. And
Right.
that was the thing that I was wanting. Like I said beforehand, I didn't think, you would see anyone go to jail or anything as far as any kind of officials or, shit like that. But enough information just brought out to, the general public to, make up their mind as far as, the way they're going to vote, the way they're going to lean politically. And I believe that just some truth, of the whole situation could possibly change some minds that originally were, on a different fucking aspect.
You want the truth? The truth is that Joe Biden, typically in a cognitive sense, is the most intelligent person that we have ever had in the Oval Office. That's the truth that we get from our government. So,
When I say he was cogent,
right.
I didn't mean he was just cogent.
Right. This is the best Biden that we have ever seen. Yeah.
Right. And now it's coming out that they had a little council there with Jill Biden's chief of staff, Jill Biden's Dr. Alice Cooper, Jill Biden's, and of course, Hunter Biden even on that committee that was actually running the country while fucking Bidens was napping and eating fucking ice cream with a cork on a fork, right? You know,
Right.
It's pretty insane, and like you said, they're bringing up the cocaine. Like, dude, there's way more fucking important things that you could bring to light or investigate other than fucking cocaine in the White House. Like,
Right. We literally saw two fucking gay men fucking in the Senate chambers. Like, pretty sure there's cocaine all over the fucking White House and the fucking the Capitol. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that most like I say on fucking Rick and Morty, like what they do in those offices, they take cocaine, they dip in their balls in them and shit like that. Pretty sure that takes place in the White House and fucking
what is this
up on
guy
Capitol Hill
saying?
as
I
well.
also have Hillary's autopsy photo. Hey, dude, you send me that privately, son. I'd like to see that.
Right, link in the description below. Hit us up on the social medias. Along with Hillary and Huma, I have firsthand knowledge of this. Be interesting. Go do an interview, man. Go get on Fox and Friends. No, I'm just kidding.
Right now, fucking Huma's a Soros. So.
All right. But yep, definitely some crazy times we be living in.
Yeah.
Right. There's also the what is it? The dude that just got busted for fucking trying to give away the intel agent trying to fucking give away American
classified
secrets
information.
Right.
Yeah. And his whole thing is basically against Trump. It's like he's causing too much chaos.
Right.
Like, what the
this isn't
fuck,
the America
man?
that I know.
Right, dude.
Right.
Executed for fucking treason, man.
Right. Yep. It's because the America that you knew was a corrupt fucking wasteful shithole. It was fraudulent and like this. I don't think we could run a government without fraud anymore. You're like, no, this isn't the democracy that I believe in. Right.
See, I heard Three from Heaven. Love to be on your show, man. I've done this ever since Hillary killed Vince Foster in 1992.
Yeah, you got social media? I'll send you a link to hop in right now. Yep. Go ahead and message me on X if you find it's at blurry666. Go ahead and send me a message. I'll send you an invite link. Come hop on. But yeah, some crazy stuff going on, man. See, what is it? The fertility clinic got blown up by a fucking lefty Satanist. That's pretty crazy stuff. There's also what was it? The Christian gathering in Seattle. So if those three terms to put together, Christian gathering Seattle, those don't necessarily go together. You probably should have expected Antifa was going to show up, but that took place this week as well too. Fucking was it? The district court judges versus Trump's tariffs. So you want to talk about that one for a second?
What was it? I was reading comments.
The district court judges versus the Trump tariffs.
Oh yeah, of course, man. I mean, you have district judge come out and immediately put a stop on it. Then you have an appellate court that says, okay, it can go forward why it's appealed. Then you have another district court that comes out and puts a stay on it. Then the Supreme Court says it can go forward again while it's being appealed. And then another district court come out right after the Supreme Court made the ruling to say that there needs to be a stop on it because of ongoing litigation.
Right. I like that meme, man. Fucking Donald Trump has decided to step down from the presidency to pursue a much more powerful district judge role. Right. Let's go ahead and read.
Yeah, that's one of the best B headlines of all time, dude.
Right.
The more powerful, or the one where it's the judge, putting the injunction, and it's all Trump is not a king.
All right. Let's go ahead and read through some of these comments real quick from Three from Heaven. They say something huge happened. Tone us also that the news will never tell you. 2 classified executive orders. One was the Insurrection Act, which made the uprising, the usurping amid admin powerless and kept DJT POTUS until we were able to return to civilian elections, which we did last November. By the way, we are a constitutional republic. Yes, we are aware of that. No one will hear me. I will. Trump emancipated U.S. He dissolved the Corporation of the United States, which was the Admiralty law that connected us to the Bank of London and the Vatican. By this action, Trump made us all sovereign citizens. When Trump signed the War Powers Act in March of 2020, this returned us back to constitutional republic governance and wiped away the Admiralty law of the faux Second Constitution. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, that sovereign citizen stuff, though, man. I mean,
Right.
With respect, it's kind of comical. It surely doesn't get you anywhere.
Right.
I mean, you can see video after video on the inner zones when people
Yeah,
try to use
YouTube
that
famous.
shit, and they get tossed the fuck out and get their windows busted and shit.
Right.
Yep. And the whole Vatican shit. I mean, obviously, I don't believe that they hold the power that people tend to believe that they do, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's large following or what have you, but it's done nothing but lose power to the point to where they're closing churches all over the West, man. They can't even afford to keep. Well, they choose not to afford to keep them open, right? Because I mean, the place, the Vatican itself, obviously stacked with gold.
Right.
But
Yep.
And as far as the Bank of London, I mean, the Constitution, regardless of what they say, is based off the Magna Carta, which is fucking, English in origin. And, as much as we'd like to say it's like a Roman Republic, I mean, it's really based off of the Magna Carta.
Yeah. See, they also vaporized the IRS, SSA, every single private organization acting as government. Trump also signed an EO halting all new IRS collections to end by January of 2021. Interesting.
Right. Still paying taxes.
Right. Nobody told my paycheck that. Fuck. Yeah, they're still fucking forking over that fucking cash, man. But yep, definitely crazy times we're living in. What is it? The Supreme Court has officially announced that 500,000 of the temporary protective status people from Venezuela, Honduras, a lot of those other shithole countries. I'm not going to name off right now, but a lot of these people that were allowed in by the Biden administration and then issued temporary protective status. Well, that status has just been yanked. So see ya.
Yep. 500,000 people right there. And another one of supposedly the shit that they want to codify in the big beautiful bill is funding for minimum of 1 million deportations a year.
Right. Yep. Shit, that'd be nice, man. What are they trying to say? They're trying to get to like 5,000 a day right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Tom Homan was on the Tim Cass morning show the other day. Yeah, that's what he was saying. They're saying that they're trying to ramp it up to 5,000 a day. Which, yeah, go for it, man. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Yeah, if I get NPR and PBS are suing the Trump administration because, of course, they feel entitled to tax dollars, even though they're going to report biasly, and they're going to miss a lot of these big headlines. Of course, yeah.
In what way
Honestly,
is it violating the First Amendment for you not to get any of my tax dollars, dude? That's insanity.
right.
And
You
then
can
the
speak
whole
all you want, just
yeah,
not on my dime.
and their recent show about they ranted about how they're not left leaning, they're not biased, and you listen to it and it's literal like CNN fucking regurgitation,
Right.
verbatim and stuff. It's
CNN and
pretty
even more of a
hilarious.
monotone.
Yeah, and if you've seen, man, I mentioned the Smith month earlier, and you gotta tie that in, even though
Right.
Obama signed that into fucking reality. You got to remember it's the Frankfurt fucking Mockingbird Smith month. You know what I mean? Because it's been going on a lot longer than that, man. I mean that's Mockingbird, obviously
Yeah.
Operation Mockingbird, and that's all programming. Hence the reason they call it.
Yep. Yep. We need to get some of our own programming, man.
Right.
Right. We need to have some sit downs with some of these, individual podcasters, so that way we could get to, the talking points and shit.
Yeah, you gotta have our shit, our role to roll with, man, so you can be the echoes and stuff.
Right.
It's a threat to our democracy, a threat to our democracy, democracy.
Right. Well, what was that back like a couple years ago? Fucking, we had people like, "Oh, you guys are Russian assets. You guys are definitely getting money from Russia." Like, fuck, man, nobody told me, dude. I could use some of that. Fuck, dude, what do you want me to say? Fucking, yeah, fuck Ukraine. Like, give me some money.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
dude.
like all the lefties, dude. It's fucking. I hate America. Burn this place down. I want to leave. Pay my fucking goddamn student loans.
Right. Pay my student loans. We need free
Right.
speech, but you need to stop that hate speech. Yeah.
I'm pissed
Oh,
off. They cut my food stamps. Like,
right.
fuck.
Right. Yeah, man. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, I think that's about it. Joe Biden officially has cancer. Apparently, he just got it because he was president for a while there, and he was in perfect health, absolutely perfect health. Even though he didn't actually take his checkups, he didn't take any sort of tests, anything like that. They avoided all of those because they just knew how perfect health that he was in, and yeah, now it's come out that he has what is it, stage 4?
It's basically stage 5 because it's metastasized to the bone. So I mean, it's like we're going to treat you and keep you comfortable. I mean, basically,
Right.
the dude's terminal,
He's
has a short time to live. I mean, he's ancient anyway, but
right. Yep. And apparently Jake Tapper has just come to realize that, whoa, Joe Biden wasn't all there all the time. Like, whoa, that's crazy. Joe Biden has been dead since 2019. Right.
Then
Fucking
fucking
weekend at Biden's.
you're definitely mocking his stutter right now. I have to think you're mocking his stutter right now, man.
Right.
Fucking Tapper, what a piece of shit. And
Right.
his main excuse is, well, I only had 2 interviews, during his entire presidency with the guy. Like, dude, all the rest of us were watching the same shit you were on other channels, and we knew what fucking time it was. I mean, how many times does the dude have to fall down, shake hands with the air, get lost on a stage? You know what I mean? So it has
Right.
to be walked away by the fucking Easter bunny. You know what I mean?
Right.
Really.
They say an actor was used to
And if
fill the
and if
role.
Joe Biden's been dead since 2019, they sure did a fucking horrible job of filling that role because
I was gonna
that's a
say,
fucking carcass they're wheeling around,
I was
doc.
gonna say, if that was an actor, like, don't you think that they would like act, like a normal fucking person? Like, you think they'd kind of like they're getting paid to say that? Like, fuck, dude, I
Yeah,
want my money back if that was a fucking
yeah.
actor.
As much as you don't want to admit it, dude, that's Joe Biden's carcass.
That's
And
Joe Biden.
legitimately, there's fucking tens of millions of people that dumb that they voted for a dead body.
Yep, they didn't vote for Joe Biden. They voted for the opposite of Trump. As
I
we
mean,
know.
don't get me wrong. It wasn't above board or anything. I mean, the average is around 64 to 67 million votes consistently for,
81 million,
presidential
baby.
cycles. Yeah, except for Bribens. Where the fuck
Most
did that
popular
other
fucking
18
president
million
in
or whatever?
American history.
Right. Right.
Right.
More
Yep.
votes than first term Obamas, dude.
All right. Definitely nothing to see here, you guys. Next thing you know, Bongino's going to come out next week. He got the votes.
Right. In 2020, there's no there, man. I've seen the files.
Right. Everyone was above board. Every single they went through. I read the paperwork. He got the 81 million votes. Right, most popular president of all of American history.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, the majority vote doesn't mean shit, bro. Majority vote, that's democracy. We have an electoral college, obviously. So, the majority really doesn't mean doo-doo, except
Right.
for
See, it said he also has a photo of John McCain, Bin Laden, and Lindsey Graham in Egypt in 2018. I'm sure there's plenty of there's plenty of photos like that floating around. I mean, especially with these neocon world leader types.
right. I mean, I've got lots of video clips myself of John McCain and Lindsey Graham meeting different heads of ISIS and Al Qaeda's and whatnot.
Right. Yep. It's all for show.
Yeah.
But yep, definitely mad times we're living in these days, guys. Mad times. Make sure you
We've
guys
always been at war with Eurasia.
All right. If you didn't know that, well, suggest you pay attention, I guess. Keep your head on a swivel, man. But yeah, let's see. Anything else you wanna throw in before we start to wrap, man?
We're good. You can wrap it up, dog. Fucking good to see everybody. Glad you came, man. I appreciate the stops, right? Upvote this bitch, share it, clip it out, do some shit.
Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, so
Right.
that way you know when we go live every Friday night, 10 p.m. Arizona time. For those that don't know, Arizona doesn't change time zone, so Arizona's on a constant time. So make sure you keep up with that. But anyway, we appreciate y'all for stopping by. Let us know what you guys think is going on with Bongino, what's going on with this whole Epstein thing. What's going on with the tapes. Let us know your guys' opinion in the comment section. We really appreciate you guys. Again, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on social media. Links are in the description below. Yeah, that's about it. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and always fuck off.